Wednesday. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us today. My name is Tyler Reyes, and I am a career coach with the Fresno State Career Development Center, and this is our How to Get a Job with the State of California webinar. We have a representative from the Department of State Hospitals, Kelly McAdams. She's going to talk to you about how to get a job with the state of California. Kelly is going to be talking, a lot of her information is going to come from the perspective of the state hospital side, talking about what it takes to get a job there, but a lot of this information is generalizable to any state job that you would need to apply for. Kelly has a lot of valuable information for you, so I'm going to go ahead and let her take it away. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Tyler. Hello, everybody. As Tyler said, my name is Kelly McAdams. My title is a recruitment specialist, and I am here to let you know about our 5 state hospitals in California. And if you don't want to work at a hospital, I can get you a job somewhere in the state also. So I do have a PowerPoint presentation. It's not going to take too long. And then I'd like to open it up for questions that you might have, something that you're dying to know. So let me
and while you're getting the PowerPoint ready, Kelly, for all of our participants, please use the Q&A function, not the chat feature. That'll just help us keep everything nice and neat so we can moderate those questions for Kelly.
Okay, so let me go back. Here we go. Screen sharing is stopped. Why? All right. Let's go again. Bear with me. There we go. All right. California State Hospitals. Join our team as a registered nurse or another discipline. I added a few things in this PowerPoint. This is usually my RN PowerPoint, but I added a few things because Tyler told me there might be some people that are interested in non-clinical jobs. And I said, cool. So I wanted to let you know about DSH, who we are. The department, we have 5 facilities in California. In the fiscal year of 2018, we employ over 13,000 in staff, and we serve over 6,000 patients. This is a 24/7 hospital system. So who we treat, a lot of people think you can just be admitted to this hospital, and this is not true. Our patients at our hospitals are forensic. And what that means is they are sent to us through the criminal court system. They have committed a crime, or they have been accused of committing a crime associated with a mental illness. Our job is to offer therapeutic rehabilitation so our patients can stand trial for their alleged crimes. Okay, we have 5 locations. Atascadero, beautiful facility. It's located near Morro Bay on the Central Coast. All the patients here are male, and they're all forensic. Next one, we have Coalinga. That's pretty close to Fresno. It's in Central California, and most of the employees, they commute from Fresno, Lemoore, Kettleman City. The patient population there is sexually violent predators, and those patients come from CDCR. That is our state prison. Next is Metropolitan. That is in Norwalk, pretty close to Disneyland. And Metropolitan treats forensic and civilly committed patients. That is severely mentally disabled patients. Napa, that's the wine country there, pretty close to where I am in Sacramento. It's close to Sonoma, San Francisco, and Marin County. Napa treats both forensic and civil male and female patients. And then we have Patton. Patton is located north of San Bernardino, and they treat male and female forensic patients. And then just a few slides here. Gives you a little bit of information. So why join our team? Joining our team allows you to have the work-life balance that everybody craves. The state has great benefits, and we can get to those later in the question and answer. You can ask for relocation to any of our 5 hospitals. And of course, you have career advancement. And here are some of the benefits. 5 hospitals to choose from. You have health, dental, vision, CalPERS, retirement. You have an option for 401k, flexible schedules, holidays, and generous paid time off. And
Kelly,
here are,
this looks like a great place to ask. We have our first question in the chat. What college majors are accepted for registered nursing positions at the state Department of State hospitals? Do you need a medical background? Do you need the nursing background specifically, or are alternative health adjacent majors accepted as well?
To be for a registered nurse, all you need is a 4-year of BSN, and then to pass the RN exam. And then you're good to go to work at any of our 5 hospitals. You do not have to have experience.
Okay, and so the BSN is the requirement. A student couldn't be like a kinesiology major and then be a nurse. They would have to get the BSN.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And here are some of our nursing. A lot of our nurses, they do come in as psych techs, they go up to LVN and then work their way up to nurse, and then all the way up, I guess, probably public health nurse 1 and 2 is the highest. And then many opportunities. This is a slide that I added in. You have a job from accounting to zoology, A to Z. And what we do is truly essential for our community and the state of California. Now, this is how to join our team or for any job, not just DSH. This is, I don't know, probably a 3-step. They have 2 steps here, might be 3. We can go over this, but Tyler, I'm assuming you have these links if somebody wants to click on the links.
I don't have the PowerPoint in front of me right now, but yes, these links will be available to our students.
Great.
Yes.
Perfect. And this is how you start. You start a Cal Careers account. Then you need, for every classification with the state, there is an exam attached to it. Usually it's an assessment exam. And then you have to take that to apply for the job. And then you can start looking, you can start browsing for jobs you're interested in, which probably right now, Sacramento County, there's probably over 3,000 positions available.
Really quickly, Kelly, it looks like we have a couple more questions in the chat. First question, this is going to relate to the nursing programs again.
Okay.
Is there a new graduate training program for the BSN nurses?
There is a shadow someone at one of our hospitals, and it's probably a month-long shadowing. They're just not going to throw you in there and say, go to work.
Perfect, thank you. And then we have another question for from a non-nursing background. We have a student in the chat who is going to be graduating with a bachelor's degree in business. She
Okay.
would like to know what non-medical jobs the hospital offers and whether or not the hospitals offer internships.
Yes, the hospitals do offer internships, and I can send you a link for that, or the student can look at dsh.ca.gov, and it's right. It'll be right there in the top tabs, or I can send you a link for internships. So at our hospitals are like a little city. They need many people to run it. So someone with a 4-year degree in business, they could apply for in the admin. I'm going to say starting as a SSA or a AGPA.
And can you let our students know what those are for those who haven't heard those acronyms?
I'm sorry, that's what we do. When you get into the state, everything is acronym. SSA is Staff Services Analyst. And starting pay for that. And if you have a 4-year degree, this would be range C. I think it is right now 41, almost 4,200 a month. And this does not reflect the 9.23% reduction in pay that was instated last year by Governor Newsom for COVID. So you could take 10% off. I know that's not a good recruitment tool to say, but at least the state employees, we all have our jobs. So that's a good thing. But this is only temporary. The 9.23% is temporary. It is supposed to go till 2022 in July, and then we get that 10% back. But they are looking at us trying to get it back this July. So I haven't heard anything yet, but that's what they're trying to do, and we'll see what happens. So the next one would be an AGPA. That is Associate Governmental Program Analyst. That's just higher than the SSA. And that one, I believe, is starting out at almost 5,200 a month, less than 9.23%. So if you have a 4-year degree, those are the two that you would be looking at.
And with a business degree specifically, like you said, any kind of role in the administration of these hotels would probably be, or hotels, excuse me, hospitals would be the kind of roles that they would be looking at. Yes,
depending on what the student wants to do. I'm thinking right now, I'm in HR. So what we have So we have payroll and benefits. That would be good. If you can get in to HR, that would be good. That is good to have on your resume, and you will learn a lot. So in HR, you're going to have payroll and benefits. You're going to be working with getting people paid. So that would be a personnel specialist. That's another classification. There we have labor in HR. If somebody's interested in contracts and negotiating, you can go into our labor union classification. We have, it's C&P, that's classification and C&P, classification and payroll. That is vetting applications, writing up people within DSH for when they do something wrong. You write up a lot of reports. So for me, that would be something that I would stay away from. I know I wouldn't enjoy it, but there are some people that do enjoy it. Recruitment, like I do. You could go into that as SSA or AGPA and start recruiting for all of the state agencies out there. Let me see. My son works at CalSTRS. He has a 4-year, and he went in as from private sector. He worked at Tesla, so that probably, got him a little bit more attention. And he got a job in the call center. He's been doing that for a couple years now, and it is time he's ready for a change. So what he'll be doing is he's going to start looking for AGPA, and that's probably going to take him about 3 to 4 months. And it can take a while to get a job with the state. You're going to have to be patient. There's a lot of paperwork. They require a lot, and it goes through a lot of hands. When you hear about government bureaucracy, the red tape, that's why it's in when you're trying to get a job. That's what you're looking at. But it's totally worth it. Don't give up. It just takes time and a lot of perseverance.
Thank you, Kelly. Okay, we're just getting questions rapid fire here in the Q&A section.
Yeah,
so
we're done with the PowerPoint, so that's good.
If you want to keep up your contact information, just so students can have that. So one of the questions that came up was with regarding the assessments. One of our participants wants to know, are the assessments position specific, or are they required to apply for any job?
Okay, so for the RN, it's going to be specific. And from what I've heard, that people that have taken it, that it is something that an RN graduate should know. And for that one, you have to have 70% or more to pass. And that's it. For, all right, let's go for SSA. For that is going to be experience assessment. They're assessing your experience, and it is going to be, I believe, I guess you could say multiple choice, but they're going to have, how many years of experience do you have doing this? And it's usually involving communication, meetings. What else? Working with a computer. And then you just pop in the bubble what you have experience with. Now, I would like to say that I believe that students that maybe don't have a lot of work experience because they've been in college, they've been working hard getting that degree, that do not underestimate yourself. You have a lot of experience in what you've been doing in college, if you've had a part-time job, even if you have done volunteer work, that counts. So if you can, you put in the bubble the most experience that they offer, and that will help you get the top score. So how the state works is how they vet applications. They will start with veterans, of course, have preference, which I agree with. So if you are a veteran, you can email me and let me know. Or if you apply for something, they always have a link in the job posting. If you're a vet, click here. And then there is another one for LEAP, which is limited examination, something, I don't know, but it is for somebody that has a disability. And so they're going to look at those legally. They have to look at those two first. And then they will go with the people that didn't qualify for those two things. And they will go by percentage on how well you scored on the exam, on the assessment. And the way to get a high assessment score, which is 95%. You can't get higher. I don't know why there's not 100%. 95% is that you pick the bubble that you have the most experience in because of all your college work, because of your part-time job, and because of your volunteer work.
Thank you, Kelly. And so we are getting a lot of questions and it's kind of jumping around. I was trying to get them answered in the order that they came in, but some of them are kind of relating now.
Okay.
So for example, we have one student asking about the assessments. Are they a one-time try, or can you have the opportunity to take them as many times as you'd like until a student passes?
That's a good question. It is a one-time try. And if you don't pass, depending on the classification, you have to wait a certain amount of months. I believe for a nurse, it's 6 months. And I know that that's not good news. A lot of people, that's a deterrent. And I believe a AGPA is probably 6 months. SSA might be 6 months or a year. I'm not sure, but yes. Yeah, it's a one-time deal. But you can try again and after the time has gone by.
Perfect. Thank you, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we've had a couple of questions relating to other majors as well. So we have a question about opportunities for dietetics majors, a future registered dietitian,
Yes.
as well as biology. And can you talk about positions both within DSH and maybe in other areas of the government where students could look?
Sure. I know the registered dietetic, I think we have a job posting right now at one of our hospitals. So yes, we do have that. Biology, I don't know.
And so for the biology person in particular, they were asking about positions in the clinical lab, maybe not with DSH, but could you think of other positions within the government or departments where they could look?
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that. So we do have for our state hospitals, clinical lab technician. We do have that. I'm going to look real quick here. And I can just kind of give you some examples right now. I'm going to go to current exams. So this is on dsa.ca.gov. Go to it. You go to the top, you hover over careers. And then there's, I don't know, probably 10 tabs to choose from. So I go to current exams. And then the student that was interested in internships and training, there's a tab there. So I'm going to current exams. So for example, they go in alphabetical order. So we got accounting, at least 8 to 10 positions on that one, starting as a trainee all the way up to a specialist, and then an administrator. We have admin assistant. Let's see. Something that would be interesting. Oh, there's the AGPA. We have attorneys. A beauty shop manager. Interesting. So here we have for business students, business service assistant, business service officer, and then that can go to 1. You can go to officer 2, officer 3, which means more money, which is a good thing. We have carpenters, custodians. Obviously, we have physicians and surgeons and psychiatrists and clinical psychologists at our hospitals. And here's a clinical lab technician. I know a lot of people apply. A lot of people apply for a communications operator. I believe that is an office setting. So we have there is dietetic technician. There it is right there. Electrician. Here's another business one, executive assistant. That would be, I kind of wanted to do that, but you do have to, you have to take a test. It is hard to get. Basically, you're an assistant to someone, a higher up, one of the top managers or one of the CEAs in the building. And you can go up with that one, executive assistant, then you can go to executive secretary 1 and then 2. Firefighters, food service, groundskeeper, health record technicians, hospital police. And if anybody is interested too, if anybody, yeah, put that on the bottom. If anybody has interested in IT, we have a lot of IT positions, and that is a great way to get into the state. You start as a technician and then you work your way up, and bada bing, bada boom. So we have investigators, labor relation analysts. That's the one I was talking about. You can go all the way to manager 2. Laundry worker, LVN, a librarian. We have, here is another business one, management services technician, transcriber. We have chaplains, nurses. Another one. Yes.
Kelly, really quickly, we have 2 other positions outside of nursing that are asking.
Yes.
Anything relating to speech language pathology or public health administration?
I mean, look.
And with regards to the Public Health Administration, they were interested in potentially the hospital setting.
Okay, I'm looking under speech. I don't see that one. What was the other one?
Public Health Administration.
Okay.
From what I have been told from other representatives from, I actually spoke with people from Atascadero.
Mhm.
I know that those that public health students could find opportunities in the office setting of the state hospitals. Is that something that you have any experience or knowledge of?
No, I don't. I know that public health, there is a department for the state. It's public health, and that's probably would be a great place to go. Um, if that student wants to email me, I can give them the info. So what we have for here would be public health nurse and public health nurse 2. That's what I have.
Okay, and those would probably be the BSN positions still, correct?
Public health. Let me go to it real quick. And then it's kind of fun doing all this and seeing what people are looking for. Public health.
And would you actually be able to send the link that you're using in the chat so we can show our students
Yeah, and it's so
where
easy to use, and just you can apply for all these, take as many assessments as you want. Actually, that's a good idea. Unless you want a certain location or a certain job. Okay, so this one for the hospital, it is the public health nurse. Because a nurse is in there, you do have to have the BSN. But if you went to a different agency like the public health agency, maybe even cover California, they would have those types of jobs. All right, so let me go back here, and I'm just going to copy and paste and put this in the chat. And then everybody can browse. Any more questions?
Yes, we have a number of questions still.
Yeah. Now's the time to ask.
So we did have another business question. I'm going to kind of actually condense 2 questions into one. One student is a business major, and their concentration is actually in HR. And she wants to know if a specific amount of experience is needed to apply for these positions. And we have another student who is curious about if there's going to be any opportunities for students who are fall 2021 graduates. So if they're going to be graduating in this upcoming fall semester, do they have the chance at receiving a position with the Department of State Hospitals or even any other department for the state of California?
So would this degree, is it for RN or anything?
So for the first one is for business, someone with an HR concentration. They just want to know if a specific level of experience is needed. And then with the other one, just in general, this one is a business major as well, but in general, for students who are graduating in this upcoming fall semester, could they still apply for jobs even if they haven't received their bachelor's?
Yes, you can. So for the first question for the business. So a 4-year. So how it's going to go now. A lot of people are getting 4-year degrees. Before, a lot of people didn't have 4-year degrees. So if you had one, you had something. So if you're going up against a lot of applicants that have four-year degrees, you are going to need something else that is going to set you apart from your competition. So experience, yes, would be one. Paying attention to what the state does when you're going to apply for a job like that. If it's going to be a four-year degree job, which could be SSA, AGPA. I'll let everybody know, nurses, they don't have to go through this. There's going to be what is called statement of qualifications on the job posting. Usually it's 1, 2, or 3 questions. And they are going to, in writing, it says, if you don't have those in your application, they'll just throw your app out. So you have to do the SOQs if you want the job. It is time consuming. And they require a certain, they'll say 1 page, 12-point font, 1-inch margins, labeled supplemental questionnaire, or SOQs. Put your name in the right-hand corner. Somebody might be thinking, oh my God, am I back in high school, grade school? They do that for a reason. First, they want to see if you're paying attention. The state is big on you paying attention to directions. And we have a lot of applicants for one position. We could have 300 applicants for one position. So this is kind of a way how they figured out where they can weed out people that aren't paying attention, and then they're just maybe going to get, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 applications. So you need to follow those instructions. And the people that look at these applications, they're in a separate classification called, they do MQs, minimum qualifications. And they look for that. And if the directions weren't adhered to, you're not going to get called. So anyway, the people that did pay attention, and you do have your 4-year degree, well, you've passed MQs, and it's going to go on to the hiring manager. And then she's probably going to look at your experience, or he is going to look at your experience and pick out something from there. And probably where you're really going to shine is, if you do get that interview, where you're going to shine is in the interview. You have to beat out your competition. And then with that's how the process is going to be. There'll be usually three interviewers at the table. It can be nerve-wracking. And I'm going to say dress to impress always. That still applies. Even today, people take notice, especially hiring managers. They want to see that they're hiring somebody, especially in HR. They want to see they're hiring somebody professional. And that's my advice on applications and interviews. If somebody wants to ask me something maybe I've missed. And the other one was, what was the other one, Tyler? That was business.
So with regards to students who had not graduated yet, but will be graduating in the fall.
Yes. So on, say, a job posting, somebody's interested in a certain job. It will say on there, will accept, sometimes it says will accept degrees if at that time, I probably think if you're going to be have the degree while you're interviewing, because if it's going to take 2 to 3 months, say 2 months to get a job, you can start applying and for those jobs, and you can say in the process of getting my 4-year degree, and you can give the date, and you can do that. Also, if you're not sure, because probably it's going to be different on all job postings, if you scroll down, there is someone that you can contact in the HR department and ask them anything about that job posting. And they know about that job posting and they know what's required. So that would be my advice, is to call that number and take advantage of that, because that person that you're going to call knows a lot. And I think we were talking about something else, Tyler. Well, maybe it'll come back to me.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions that we still want to get through. So one student wanted to know, how does the state view graduates from the CSU system? Is it preferred to have a degree from the CSU system or from the University of California? Or is the candidate's experience more important than their degree? So they want to know, is it better to go to a CSU or a UC? Does the state care?
It does not matter, as long as you have a 4-year. And this is up to the manager's interpretation of what a valuable employee should be. For example, my manager, she's been with the state 23 years. And she's great. I love her. Manager before, not so much. But my manager has associates. And she worked her way up from an office assistant. And now she's a manager, SSM2. That's just a manager 2. And then she can go to 3. And then after that, she can be a CEA, which, you're making really good money then. But her boss, which is the chief of HR, values somebody that has a degree, maybe more so than experience. So it does depend on the hiring manager. And experience, please write down any volunteer work you have. They just want to see what you've been doing. They want to see that you are well-rounded. And that's what it will take.
Thank you, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We still have a couple more questions. One question was looking specifically at a job posting on the website for the food service technician.
Yeah.
They see that the filing location is online and the exam type is continuous. What does that mean?
Continuous? What does continuous mean?
I think there's a little bit of confusion. They think that the work might be online, but
No.
I'm assuming that's probably not the case.
Yeah, they are. That will be our hospitals. There are some that can work from home. So if you're an admin and you can work from home, yes. But nurses and doctors, they're going to be in the hospital. Janitorial is going to be in the hospital. They're going to be on site. and the food service technician. They are going to be on site. And probably, soon everybody, we're going to start going back to work probably in a month or two. My son's going back in September full time. Eventually, when we have herd immunity, 80% with vaccines, I believe everything's going to be opening up.
And then about the continuous for the testing type, what does that mean?
Continuous means that exam is always available. You can always access it. Say there was a job for office technician. It maybe it would not say continuous. There's going to be a final deadline to take that test. That's what it means.
Awesome, thank you. Let's see here.
Oh, Tyler, I remembered.
Oh yes, go ahead.
So anybody that is going to apply for the state, make sure that you print out the duty statement, and then you choose the words that are in the duty statement. You use those words like Tyler and I were talking about. They're usually verbs. And put those in your resume, put those in your SOQs. You just litter them throughout whatever you're turning in. And the state wants you to use their language. So always print out your duty statement.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I remember now.
Yes.
Okay. Another student is asking, from what they understand, the assessment has to be done first, and then they can apply to specific job positions. How long does it take to receive the results of the assessment? And should they apply for a specific job position if the results are being processed?
That's a good idea. A good question. So nurses get the results right away, and then they'll get something in the mail, official in a couple of weeks, maybe 2 to 4 weeks. SSA, AGPA, they get it right away. I'm going to say that you get office technician, you get right away. I'm going to say you're going to get it right away. I don't know of one where you have to wait. And then you can start applying. Yes, it will be in the system, and they will see that you pass the assessment.
Thank you. We're winding down here to the last few questions. So we have another dietetics major. They want to know if there's an opportunity to apply for something right now in this area, probably in the Fresno County area, if you know of anything.
So that would be, we were talking about Coalinga, right?
Yes.
Would
So
be.
Coalinga would be a state hospital, and then maybe any other department you could think of as well.
Let's just look real quick. Okay, so that is going to be, I think it's under registered. So I'm going to look under R. Yes, registered dietitian. And it is, okay. So they opened up this position on May 12th. So they will let you know when you look, you see when it was the published date, and you'll always look at the filing deadline. With the state, if you do not have your application in by that deadline, they will not consider your application. No late applications. This one, filing deadline is July 11th. So you have plenty of time. The starting pay for that is $51.30. It goes all the way up to $65.46 a month. And
Would you mind throwing that in the chat as well for the student
bet.
to find?
And I don't know what, I haven't looked at this one, what degree is, what the minimum qualifications are. Design, I don't even see it, but they can look. Okay, okay, yes, I am going to, I'll do it right now. Copy.
I think I can answer one of the questions in the chat for you. We have a student who is asking about what instances should they contact you or that recruitment hotline. And I can just say, anytime you have a question, if you are interested in a position with DSH, please feel free to reach out to Kelly as well as the recruitment hotline. They are, they're always going to be receptive to you. If you have any questions, just go directly to the source. That's them. They're going to have the most information about DSH, and they'll be happy and ready to help you.
I am going to put in my email. The other one goes to the recruitment box.
Oh, thank you.
And then this will go to my email at work.
And then for the student who asked about the dietitian position, Kelly did post that in the chat. We have a couple of last final questions here. What sectors of the government should a biologist or ecologist look at who has an emphasis in STEM?
Okay, so let's go back to here. What were you saying, Tyler, that with a biologist and then was it a clinical lab technician?
Yes, one student had the clinical lab technician. It looks like this student is thinking probably outside the box of DSH.
Oh, okay. My advice would be I'm trying to enlarge this. There we go. My advice would be that what you can do, just like anything when you're shopping at Macy's, Amazon, you can do sort, you can do filter. You can do the same thing on your Cal Careers account. You can filter certain jobs, certain counties. So I would do county, and then I would put in the job that you would like, and that's going to filter. And then you don't have to look at all the jobs that are available. And what you can do is you can set up certain jobs. You can save jobs too. My advice is to save your jobs, then it stays in your Cal Careers account. Because I remember when I was looking, there's a lot of jobs and you lose track. Another thing is that you can be pinged on your email when the job that you want becomes available. They'll send it to your email. So you can sign up for all that stuff. And it kind of makes it a little bit easier instead of so daunting of a task.
I would also say, depending on what that student's interests are, they could just look at the California government and see what departments kind of fall in that realm. Two departments that I can think of would be Fish and Wildlife. That would be somewhere to definitely look. And there would also be the Department of Toxic Substances Control. Those two would definitely be in the realm of biology and ecology for students who are interested.
Yes.
Great example of positions available for those. For that high-speed rail system that's being worked on right now, we have people who are employees of the state who are doing environmental impact reports. So that would definitely be something to take a look at, both at the state and the what's it called? State and local level. And I'm sorry, Kelly, it looks like we were having some difficulties there. I am posting Kelly's email in the chat, as well as the job posting that she had posted earlier.
Yep.
We're here in the last moments here. I want to make sure we're getting to everything. How long does it take to get interviewed for any state job after applying?
I just had somebody that went to an interview 2 days ago, and it took them 2 months to get called back for an interview. This is going to be different with every department, and it's going to be different with the hiring manager. The hiring manager, depending on how busy they are, they have those apps, those 10, 15, whatever, how many apps they have to go through. And they have to look through those. So it could be 6 weeks, 2 months, maybe less. My manager does it really quick. You know, that's what's great about her. She knows that people are wanting a job, but it could be up to 2 months.
And that was something that we talked about yesterday, is just for students who are interested in potentially working for the state, it is something you have to plan for. It's not quick. It's not a quick process, but it's very rewarding. There's a lot of really good benefits to working with the state.
Yes.
So we have a couple more questions.
Sure.
Social work students, are there hospital internships available for social work positions?
Yes, there are. And so that email that link that I sent, dsh.ca.gov, you get on that, and then you go, you hover. Let's see.
It was sent at the beginning. I'm going to send it again to our students.
Yeah, so that is going to be, you got that. So you're going to go to careers, hover over careers, and then you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You have 10 links that you can go to for exams, job openings. That's what I usually go to. I'll hop on over to job openings, and then it gives me the hospitals, and I'll just click on one of those. If I'm on the phone with somebody and they ask me, hey, I want to see if this job is at Atascadero. And then so right there at the top right, you see internships and trainings. You click on that, and then you click on the hospital you're interested in.
Thank you for bringing up that internship comment as well. We did have another question that you just answered.
Okay.
So for the students who are interested in summer internships, check the DSH website.
Yeah.
That they will have all of that information there. We are winding down. We have just 2 more questions left that I really want to make sure that get answered for our students.
Yeah.
First off, just we have a student who is concerned about continuing education. Is continuing education something that nurses at DSH are able to get when they are employed with the state?
You mean, can they get it through the state, or
Is that a part of their responsibilities to do continuing education?
they can? Yes, if they want to continue. Yes, so for like the RN, and if they want to go up to a nursing instructor or public nurse, yes, you can do that.
Okay, it looks like there was some concern about students who, I guess there's rumors that RNs lose skills when they enter the correctional setting, but there is the opportunity to still use those skills and do continuing education.
Yes.
Perfect. And then the very last question, I'm saving the best for last here. Just what is the advice that you can offer for nursing applicants? Are the positions competitive, like against other hospitals in the area?
Okay. My advice for nursing is just make sure, obviously, you have your license when you apply. And you do your assessment, and probably you don't have to have the experience. So I would say that it's going to count when you're in the interview room. I know that there was someone a nurse that was not called back. And the managers were talking about it, and it's because she didn't do well in the interview. A lot of people do not. You're kind of on the spot. You have 6 eyes looking at you. So I'm going to say you're going to have to be prepared for that interview. You're going to have to maybe have a few stories. I call them back pocket stories. And this is for any job, that it's a story of where you've done something, how you've helped, the outcome, and something that you can tell an interviewer that they can relate to. They like that kind of stuff. And it's good to have that, even if you're not going to be a nurse for any position. So that's where I'm going to say, if you get in an interview, that you've already, you've come a long way, and then just be prepared for the interview. And be prepared, if you have to, have 3 of your friends, 3 of your family members sit across the table, and you go over, have them ask you questions, and just make sure that you can talk to the interview people, the managers, eye to eye. They don't like you looking around. They don't like you looking down. They want you to look them in the eye. And that's my advice. And they're going to see what kind of person you are, if you can carry yourself in that manner, because that's a big responsibility, what you're going to be doing. Nursing, even what I do, they want to know that they can, that they're getting the best applicant out of the pool.
Ready. Thank you so much, Kelly. All of our students really appreciated everything that you had to say. It was very informative. And, I think all the information was very helpful. Thank you, everyone who decided to attend today. We hope you got a lot out of it. Any questions or concerns about this webinar, please feel free to email us at careers@csufresno.edu. Kelly has also provided her information, so if you have any questions about jobs with the Department of State Hospitals, please feel free to reach out to her directly as well. And yeah, thank you all for your time today. We will post this webinar as well as Kelly's PowerPoint in the future as well.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.